So it's now official that Nicolas Maduro is under the custody of the US government. That is after the strike that USA committed there is in Caracas. That is the capital city of Venezuela. And they're saying, Trump is saying that they got Maduro ready, prepared to counter any attack because they had the intel that the US would be coming for them. But the US came in heavier than they expected. And that led to the capture of the terrorist, as Trump puts the terrorist Nicolas Maduro. And it has been a war of words and a war of preparation. Russia and China promising Venezuela that they will protect Maduro at any cost. And if the US dares step in Venezuela, Russia and China will fight and protect them. Yes, China sends some equipment, war equipment. Russia sends some war equipment just raiding Venezuela for the counter if the US dare comes into it. And defense systems were sent from Russia. First defense system from Russia was sent to Caracas or Venezuela in charge, Maduro in charge of those equipments. China brought in theirs, and yeah, things were so much prepared and all that. We saw the China President Maduro having a meeting with the Chinese ambassadors or Chinese delegation. Maybe it was a security thing and all that. And it went on, but that did not stop the US from coming and taking Venezuela out. And Trump says the reason why they went in are two reasons. One, to stop the cartel, the drug selling cartel, the drug cartel that has been spoiling the US street by bringing in fentanyl and other drugs that has caused a lot of havoc to the American families and havoc to the American taxpayers. He also mentions another thing, that Maduro has done things that no human can explain, or he has given orders and commands for those things to be done, and that is the reason why, again, he has to pay for it. So he says he will be judged with the US system, judged harshly with the US system, and pay for everything that has happened to the people under his command. Number two, he's talking about the biggest US oil company going to the Venezuela and to try and bring back the rotten infrastructure when it comes to oil. And that is where we will stick for some time, because someone had hinted on this, that the reason why the US is on Venezuela, it's not because of the drugs, but because of the natural resources or mineral resources that are found in Venezuela. And he mentioned about he mentioned something to do with oil. There is Venezuela is so rich in oil, of course, yes, that is true. Oil, and then he mentioned something to do with the rare earth, copper and gold that the US wants to seize from Venezuela, and with that they have to come up with excuses or something else that can justify the attack on Venezuela and come out with the gold in Venezuela. That is number two of what Trump mentioned it about the oil, but he don't mention about the rest of the rare minerals. But again, would have Venezuela gone head to head with the US even with the support of Russia and China? No, they wouldn't have done that, because they don't have that might, they don't have that knowledge, they don't have that technology to go head to head with the US. So Maduro has to suffer the consequences of the things that he's been doing all this long without someone putting him into accountability or someone questioning him. Now, the higher force will put him into accountability for all these things that he has been doing. Yeah, in Venezuela, not just in Venezuela, but in South America, because he has been the guy around South America who has been doing things the way he chooses to do them and how he chooses to do them. So let's do this. And Trump says another thing is they will install the US government will install another government in Venezuela that will take Venezuela to the next level to ensure a smooth transfer of power, not to someone else, lest someone else come in and become more than Maduro and destroy the face of Venezuela. And who are these? So it will be a US-backed government in Venezuela, and we've been talking about this for the longest. It will be a US-backed presidency and leadership in Venezuela that will ensure that they are doing the American way of life in Venezuela, the American democracy in Venezuela, to grow up Venezuela to another, to a better place that anyone else can come and stay, things can work and all that. And Trump made it serious. He made it. He said that they don't want to see Venezuela go back to someone like Maduro. So will the other guy who vied against Maduro, will he be the one who will? Because by that time, Trump was pro that guy and really wanted to, I'm forgetting the name of that guy, he really wanted that guy to become the president of Venezuela, but Maduro with his corrupt system of government and all that, they were so much stronger for this guy to take in. We remember by that time there were very many protests on the ground. People, Venezuelans protesting around because of the higher living standard. And for now, the life is so hard in Venezuela because the living standards are too high. The Venezuelan shilling to is it a shilling? Currency to the US currency is completely dropping down. But is this the only thing that is going to happen? As long as Trump is still in the presidency, we're still going to see very many of Venezuela actions happening around the world. And believe me or not, Africa is not separate from that. We will still see the same thing happening in Africa. In Iran, something is happening there. There are demonstrations around Iran, Tehran, and other places in Iran because of the high living standard in Iran that has been caused by the war between Iran and the 12-day war between Iran and Israel that ended up with the US obliterating they thought Iran nuclear enrichment facilities in Fordo and all these other places where the US sent, under the command of Trump, the US sent the B-2 bombers to drop banger busters that busted and obliterated, using Trump's word, the nuclear enrichment facilities back in Iran. And there are rumors again, Israel might be going in full force in Iran again, because the main agenda or the main target is yet to be fulfilled, and to them they have to fulfill that target before they let Iran on its own. So whatever is happening, in most of the political analysts and political analysts and the war analysts are trying to say it's something that has been artificially generated. Deny them water, people go to the street and start complaining. Make sure that the shilling is down or the currency is down. People go to the streets and start doing what? Complaining and protesting against that government. It will be easy for another foreign nation to come in. Trump made it clear unto them, if they are unable to do it, and if the government, the Islamic government of Iran, dares to kill the people of Iran, the US will come in full force. The US will come in full force to save the US, probably the US and Israel will come in to save the people of Iran. And you know what that really means. If you're a political analyst, you understand. A geopolitical analyst, you understand what that means. So they are yet to finish up whatever they started in Iran, and they must bring it to completion. So whatever has happened in Venezuela is just part of what we are going to see for the rest of the time that Trump will be the president of the US. And if a Republican president again will be in charge of the larger office in the US, we'll continue seeing that more and more often until the whole world submits to the US. Until the whole world does what? Submits to the US. US is strategically placing herself in a way that she will dominate the rest of the world, just the way it used to dominate the rest of the world again. So the plan is still on. The plan will work as perfect as they want it to work, because they have everything that they call, everything that they want, all resources, that there is manpower, whatever, technology and everything to do whatever they want. Trump said whatever happened, he wishes that other people would have seen what really happened, but they will never have a chance to see it. But he can't compare any other army in the world to the US because of whatever happened. Think about that. Okay, I don't know what you have about this and what you are going to talk about this, or your comments over this. But you can leave your comments in the comment section and let's talk about this. Do you think that was impressive, or do you think it was right for the US to go to Venezuela and capture the Venezuelan president together with the wife? Or do you think they crossed the international laws, just as some of the world leaders have said? But we'll talk about that one later. Please don't leave without subscribing. Your host, Alan.